forces and the IDF are continuing to uphold its side of the agreement, and we will not compromise on returning all of our hostages. The mediating countries must insist on the full execution of the framework and hold Hamas accountable for its violations that continue throughout this week. On Tuesday, another terrorist was identified crossing the yellow line and approaching IDF soldiers in the northern part of the Gaza Strip, posing an immediate threat to them. After identification, the terrorist was eliminated in order to remove that threat. Israel maintains the responsibility to defend our forces within the ceasefire agreement. And since the ceasefire came into effect, IDF soldiers identified a compound that has rockets, launchers, and launch positions that all belong to Hamas, the terror organization in northern Gaza. An underground tunnel route spanning hundreds of meters long and tens of meters deep was located in the area of Jabalia, which was dismantled by our soldiers. Now, on the issue of aid, Israel continues to facilitate the entry of hundreds of trucks of aid entering the Gaza Strip on a daily basis as we continue to uphold our side of the ceasefire agreement. Israel is upholding the agreement to the letter. Unfortunately, the United Nations are incorrectly stating that there is not enough aid going into Gaza. Just a quarter of the aid currently entering Gaza is from the United Nations. The UN is often unaware of other agencies, and despite the UN statements and rhetoric, they're ready to scale up and increase aid. This has not been matched by the reality on the ground. The UN has not scaled up its operation. Meanwhile, trucks continue to flow in and out of the Kerem Shalom crossing on a daily basis. For journalists who are hearing from the United Nations and other agencies that not enough aid is getting into Gaza, we ask that you question the rhetoric that, quote, Israel is stopping aid. This rhetoric is designed to raise more funds, but does not match the reality on the ground, which is that Israel is upholding their side of the agreement. I'll take a few questions now. Jean from PBS News, now that it's official that Zoran Mamdani is the new mayor of New York, and in view of his previous statements on Israel and also that he would arrest Prime Minister Netanyahu if he sets foot in New York, what is your office's reaction to his election and response on this? Thank you so much for your question. I want to continue to reiterate the relationship Prime Minister Netanyahu has with President Trump. Of course, we've seen these election results, but it does not, of course, undermine the incredible, enormous relationship the Prime Minister has with President Trump and the accomplishments that we have been able to get to because of this relationship that they have forged together. We have a bond that is stronger than ever between Israel and the United States right now. And of course, it's based on our shared democratic values and dedication to our security and peace for countries in the entire free world. We thank President Trump for helping Prime Minister Netanyahu, like I said, forge this incredible relationship. And of course, his administration, we thank them for their steadfast support as well. Hilde Gran from TV2 Norway, what can you say about the different militias reportedly operating within the IDF controlled areas in Gaza? Does Israel have a strategy of protecting or in some way influencing control over them, these groups, in an attempt to weaken Hamas? So in terms of any type of militia, Israel will work with Gazans that want a better future for themselves and do not wish to see the destruction of the state of Israel. Of course, I will point you back to Hamas, who has made the situation on the ground inside of the Gaza Strip beyond horrific for the people of Gaza. We have seen horrific executions, torture, abuse of its own civilians inside of the enclave. Hamas has perpetuated the problem for many years now, and of course, within the last 2 years, making it horrific for the people of Gaza to live there on a daily basis. From Lauren at NPR. Have U.S. officials raised the case with Israel's Prime Minister's office of 16-year-old U.S. citizen Mohammed Ibrahim arrested in the West Bank? I do not have any information on that at this point in time. Or Shaked from Israel Hayom. Can you elaborate on the indirect talks between Hamas and Israel to transfer 150 to 200 terrorists within the Yellow Line? I've seen those reports. And in terms of that, I don't have any other information to share with you at this point in time. I would also like to discuss and share with you this report that came out on the BBC. I want to make it very clear that the report that the Telegraph published is no shock to us. That it came out about BBC's Arabic news service that chose to actually minimize Israeli suffering during this war, failing to do their own journalistic work to determine what the facts on the ground actually are, instead racing to air and just regurgitating Hamas's lies directly from their mouth to their viewers. Of course, and we know this, fabricating death tolls as well. Let's also not forget that the BBC worked directly with Hamas for a documentary, disguising a 13-year-old boy to be like everyone else in Gaza who narrated the film. Meanwhile, his father was a Hamas deputy minister, and the BBC actually paid money to Hamas. Now, platforms like BBC Arabic are expected to abide by all journalistic ethics, of course, while approaching any other story and asking the right questions on all sides before rushing to any type of judgment and putting things on the air. Of course, their lies have been perpetuated around the world. Those are all the questions that I see right now. I see Jean from PBS. Please follow up. You didn't answer me on Mamdani, though. I actually did answer you on Mamdani, and that is my response to that. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. And if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us.